Call this meeting to order. Meeting with the Board of Selectmen, Wednesday, June 22nd, 2016. The listing of matters is those responsibly anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the law. Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody here, and especially the Boy Scouts here and today, and Alan Roberts and the Boy Scouts for the citizenship badge. I see we're on for 7:30 here. So what we're going to do is going to briefly go through. And I'd like to thank the Boy Scouts too. You know, they help us so much. If it isn't the Memorial Day, it's putting the flags at the cemetery. They do a great job, great service for us. And I, you know, on behalf of the town, I want to thank you very much for your help. And as the meeting goes along, if you want to, somebody's got a question or something like that, don't be afraid to speak up. So I'll keep a kind of a informal meeting here. So, okay. So let's get into the warrants and the Board Selectmen business. Approve the minutes of May 18, 2016.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? If there's none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm going to just put them over here. We'll sign them all after. Okay. Accept to review the minutes of June 1st, 2016.
So moved.
Second. Discussion? If none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so voted. Award the surge bid.
Mr. Chairman, a motion to approve the surge bid as presented for the DPW supplies.
Maybe a little explanation here. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Second. This is where we go out to bid with other communities for mainly for the highway. We go out for salt and sand, and that way we get a good deal by going together, and we get much better price. Okay, I got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. All right. Award of a bid to the kennel boarding. Now, as you know, this is what we do. Well, right now, this contract that we have before it, it's going to extend into 2019. So they went out to bid on this, and but they did get into the thing because to get the lowest bid, you know, comparing to neighboring town, and it's quite a process to do this. To come up there, so we feel that this is the fair bid, and we, which I have in front of me, I don't know if the board has it, and they want to allocate that bid to J.M. Pet Resort. Is there a motion?
I assume this comes with a recommendation of the
Yeah.
incoming police chief.
Yes.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to award the bid.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Were there any other bids? There were none.
They've done a good job for us, and you know, hey. So we like to keep good people if they do good work. Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. All right, award the engineering service to Taser Park there.
Well, I want to thank the office for all their hard work, and especially Mallory for really running with this, and Lieutenant Flaherty for really bringing it to light to help us get the grant. And
Maybe give a little explanation of what that Taser Park is all about. Yeah.
well, Taser Park's going to be our canine park available to residents with dogs, and it's going to be really nice, much more extensive than I ever would have imagined. And again, without the hard work of the town staff, we wouldn't be here. And it's widely supported. We voted the money at town meeting, and we received the grant. So this is step one of getting the shovel in the ground.
I want to thank everybody that was involved in that, Jerry, and especially you who engineered that, and I'm quite sure it'll be used.
Not really engineering. I brought up the idea. I don't want anyone thinking I'm getting the bid, Alvin.
Oh, okay. No.
I'll make a motion to approve the engineering services.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Anthony, you got anything to say on that?
No.
Oh, by the way, Anthony Kennahan is our new member here, and he's certainly right into the thick of it, though. As soon as he got on here, he started asking questions, and I think he's going to do a great job for us.
Thank you.
Anthony Kennahan. Okay, we'll go to F.
Oh, we got to vote on that, Alvin.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so voted. To ratify the contract incoming police chief Victor Flaherty, assistant vehicle maintenance, well, that's the other one. We'll take Flaherty's first. And you have a chance to look at it, and
Yes.
you're all right with it?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
Both of them.
And I want to thank, the staff here, and especially David, who spends a lot of time on these things. As you know, David probably won't be talking too much tonight. I think we completely wore him out. His voice is, he's just about can talk, so. How's it hanging up, all right? Okay, very good. Okay, if there's no questions here, is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
A second. Any discussion? No discussion? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you. Okay, so the other one is the maintenance superintendent, Tom Souza, assistant vehicle maintenance superintendent. You had a chance to look at this?
Yes, sir.
No problems?
None.
Questions? None? You guys are easy tonight, yeah. Okay, is there a motion to approve this contract?
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? Okay, I want to thank again, these contracts, they take a lot of work, and David certainly, and our office staff here, trying to keep these things together. So if there's no other questions this time, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so voted. Moving along. And I'm piling them over here. They sign them all at the end, so that won't interrupt us. We can keep going. Okay, discuss revocation of the antique license for the trading post. Well, from what I understand, this license, the fees have been paid, there's taxes owed, and Article 45 of the town bylaws allowed 14 days and if you don't pay, or you don't pay your fees or something like that, we have to find out why this is happening. So what is suggested here is to call a hearing for our next meeting on July 20th, and we could talk to the individual and see what is going on here, why these fees are not being taken care of.
Mr. Chairman, at the recommendation of Jackie Flaherty, who handles all the licensing, I know we work really close with all our businesses and do everything we can to get them in and get them in compliance. We're very easygoing and try to make all available accommodations we can, but it doesn't seem possible in this situation, so I'd like to move forward with the hearing, and I'll make that as a motion.
Second.
Okay, so the hearing will be our next meeting on July 20th. We can schedule it.
Could notice how do we deliver the notice? We have the police deliver it to them?
I'll have it certified.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, is there any other questions? We got a motion and a second. Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So voted. Okay, we're moving right along. Well, all right, communication reports from boards, commissions, and town officials. Correspondence from the West Bridgewater Historical. The board is the overseer of all municipal buildings not designated to other boards, school committee, schools, for instance. The Historical Commission is looking to remove items from the fire barn that they claim have been placed there by Jerry. I need guidance from the board as whether to, this is David, to move the items, and so, Dave, what is actually over there, Jerry? And
Well, the
what is
pictures,
going
I don't know.
on?
I don't know what all
Where
that
are
stuff.
you?
I don't know what all that stuff is in the pictures. We got quite a few display cases and storage cases.
Yeah.
From the high school before it was torn down. Some of those cases will be permanent fixtures in the museum, and I believe a few will be coming up into our office for storage. I'm going to go out there tomorrow with Mallory and see what she wants in her office. But all the chairs and whatnot, if you see it in the photos, those are nothing to do with us. I didn't put them out there. But I'll go out tomorrow and take a look.
Well, will you get back to us and we'll make some kind of a thing where we,
Well, whatever we want in here, I'll have the highway department move, and I think the goal is to get the antique fire engine back in there that the historic commission had moved out for a while. And I think as soon as they were done, I had the stuff moved in from the high school. I didn't want it destroyed or disposed of, so I'll go tomorrow and take care of it.
is there still some of the old ladders over there from the fire?
I see I don't know if you have the pictures, Alan, but
Oh, no, I've seen them, yeah.
I see ladders and I see a lot of chairs and whatnot, so,
I've been over there, there's a lot of stuff there. You're like me, you don't like to throw anything away. So.
that's true.
But then again, it comes the day you have to,
But I think some of these, the display cases that came over from the school, it's a nice touch that those came from the school before that, some of them, and some came from the old Howard School. So it's a nice addition to the museum.
well, maybe Anthony's gonna have to have furniture for his new house there, can probably take a look. I know, but I guess we gotta do something there, and so look at it and get back to us, and then we'll make some kind of a plan.
Well, I'll just take
Maybe a
care of
little
it.
auction or something like that, or,
Oh, it's none of it's, I don't know what the other stuff is. I'm only gonna take care of the furniture I had moved over.
okay.
That was just storage things that we want.
Anthony, what do you say about it?
What do you want with it?
Do what you want with it.
I don't care.
So Anthony's not gonna listen to it. Okay, that's all you need for that, or? Okay, all right, so we'll move that along. Okay, site plan review, special permit application submitted by the Charlie Horse Restaurant for acoustical outdoor entertainment on the patio, which they would like to do.
Mr. Morrell, make a motion to send along a recommendation that this be approved. I think the Charlie Horse runs a great business, and I think the patio is a big asset to their business and bringing people to the town. Of course, the people come here to visit the Charlie Horse. They stop at our other stores and gas stations and whatnot, so it's there's not a lot of outdoor eating establishments, and that's one great one that's been ran very well.
Anthony,
I don't see times on here. Do we have to prove times for operation, or can they go until closing?
It would be consistent with their entertainment license. It's just to extend it to the outdoors.
Okay.
That is correct, because there's no change to the license except for this request.
Okay.
okay, does it require a vote on that, or you,
Yes, please.
okay, is there a motion to,
So moved.
is
Second.
there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so voted unanimous, thank you. Yes, I would just like to add on to that Charlie Horse. They've been great neighbors here, they ran a very good place, and a lot of the birthdays over there, and you know, then when you have a birthday over there, they give you a free meal, and on your birthday, and that seems to be a big trouble. It brings in the families, and it's been a great family restaurant over there. And they run a good operation. Okay, corresponding to public to determine the course of action, request change of ownership underground storage tank license from Hess to Speedway 244 West Center Street. Okay, now, that thing's been sitting up there with all those barriers, and those cement barriers there. Are they ever gonna open that thing up, or nobody knows?
I spoke to them.
Yeah,
It sounded like they were going to be open up.
Mr. Mayor, it's my wish is that we not approve the transfer. Also, what I like to do is cooperate with the cooperation of the fire department, require that those gas storage tanks be removed. Hess and Speedway have allegedly put we verified it, a deed restriction on there, so it can never be used as a gas station again. In the state of Massachusetts, abandoning a fuel tank is against the law, and in my opinion, the entire corner needs to be cleaned up and those tanks removed. And perhaps we need to approve the transfer before that can be done. But before I'm willing to do anything for them, I think they need to help us out. That area looks awful. We've been spending a lot of time and money with our other businesses to improve aesthetics, and that corner looks horrific. And I believe due to environmental concerns and restrictions on the property, it can probably not even be used for anything other than its current use, and because of its closeness to the wetlands.
Okay, Anthony, you have any comments on that? If I agree with you, Jerry, there, it's a nice or.
I agree with you, but do we have any reason not to approve the transfer? Is there any legal reason not to approve this?
Yeah, we want to know.
State law, it has to go on record with the Boston Fire Marshal's office. It's state law. It has to be on file record of ownership.
I'd like them to come in. That's, the only thing that's going to accomplish by not approving is maybe getting them here to explain to us what their plan is with the property.
Should we table it for next meeting then, and then?
We could do that we want the representatives from the company here. I'd be happy with that.
Well, okay, the chair can table it for the next meeting, the 20th then.
Yeah.
But I'll
Put it
make
on
a
the
motion
agenda,
that
try to
we
get-
ask a representative from Speedway and/or Hess
Yeah, to be here.
to be present at the next meeting. Because I don't understand transferring a license on a tank that should be removed anyways.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
got some questions.
Yeah,
May I
go
ask a
ahead.
question? Just so the boys understand what this is this the gas station across from Hockamon?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
understand what that is.
yeah, with those big cement barriers, it doesn't give too much of a thing for our community, Okay. So, I guess we'll table that. Next thing,
Did you make
wait.
a motion?
is
Well,
there
the
a
motion is to
to-
send communication to whom we'd like a representative at our next meeting, and maybe ask the fire chief to be here also.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay, usually a table shows preference over everything. You can just table it, and you don't even really have to have that. But we'll go through that.
But we're also asking that representatives be
Yeah,
here.
representatives to be here. Okay, so, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. So we'll contact them and get them to be here. Okay. Act on a request from June Metcalf with the Fair Church to place a farmer's market sign in the town hall parking lot.
Motion to approve the request. I'd also like to ask the office staff to make sure we help publicize the farmer's market on the social media and on the town website.
That's kind of an annual request, isn't it?
Yes.
So,
And anything else the town can do to assist. This was started by the Agriculture Commission a few years back, and in cooperation with the First Church.
Okay. Anthony?
Nothing. Did you make them?
Yeah,
That's
the
the
motion and a
motion.
second.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so voted. Okay, public comment? Period there. Anybody got any comments? No? Okay, we're down to the town administrator. Jerry, any comments or anything for
I have
the
nothing.
good of the order? The only thing I can say, those three cars are still sitting up on that North Main
I
Street.
left an email on your desk.
Got an email on my desk?
I left an email there from,
All right, I
Lieutenant
take my
Larry.
papers. Okay. So that's being, because I know the chief's coming in tonight there, so I'd just like to, and the only thing is, I mean, there was one there, and there's two, and there's three, and,
They're working on having them removed.
okay. So it's being adhered to. It's, Gary, you have any more comments?
I have
or-
nothing else. I'll announce the date for Park Day has been set this year. It will be on September 11th. During the event, we will have some type of a memorial, as it is the 15th anniversary of September 11th, and it's sure to be a great day at our 25th annual Park Day, held in 25 years.
Well, the only thing is, maybe we can get you to sing this thing, something different, you know?
Yeah, my kids try to get me not to sing, but maybe we'll go the other route.
They'll sing to you then.
I'm sure we're gonna have some delicious fried dough, and you guys are gonna burn your fingers dropping it in the oil, and see what else we can get you to do this year.
You got,
Work those gates. This is our security force right here,
We
Alvin.
got a shirt for Anthony, I hope.
We will, we
When to
will.
fix him. Okay, so that leaves us to the town administrator's report. Discussion on the reorganization of the office.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll apologize in advance. As you know, I lost my voice the last 2 days. I'm finally getting it back. I've discussed with you each individually that surprisingly, still not exactly sure why she feels this way, but Jackie believes that retiring will be more enjoyable than coming to work every day. So she's retiring, so congratulations to Jackie. As a result of that, we currently have multiple ladies in the office between Jackie and Mallory that do some of the similar responsibilities. And so I think it's an opportunity for us to be able to take that, to actually be able to consolidate all of our licensing under the Assistant Town Administrator, Mallory Ehrenstein, and therefore have a simple executive assistant that is going to be in the center office to be able to handle all administrative duties on behalf of the board. I think it allows us to streamline the office, allows one person to be in charge of all licensing, and I anticipate should also save us some money as well. So I know we've discussed this individually, but I wanted to, one, discuss it with you as a full board. We have also already began up the application process. We received in 175 applicants. From that pool, Ms. Ehrenstein and myself brought it down to 15, and we have interviewed 10. We have 5 more to go. Once we figure out from that 15, we're going to bring it down to 3, and we're going to do final interviews next week for those 3. And I'm looking to try to hire someone in July because I'll have to give a couple of weeks' notice. Hopefully I can get them in before your next meeting and to start. But at your next meeting, July 20th, I'll have that person here, introduce you to that person, and ask you to ratify that decision. In the meantime, to continue to keep your involvement and to have your input, is that our 3 finalists, Mallory and I, are going to place their resume, their application, in a summary of what our notes are with each one of you, so you can review over the weekend, and then I could speak to each one of you on Monday if you so desire, as we anticipate those interviews will be Monday afternoon and Tuesday.
You had quite a number of people who applied for that.
Yeah, 175.
Huh?
175.
Wow. Ah,
That's why I say, I mean,
huh?
it's, no, it was quite a few to go through. It was more than we anticipated, and I can tell you some extremely well-qualified people have applied for the position.
Does that mean that I can retire from the signatures of the things because Jackie's not there? No, I don't mind doing it because, you know, I'm available, but
I have to train them, Alvin.
but the thing is that, you know, that I don't like to have, I don't care who's up here, any kind, whether it's a road opening permit or something like that, to sit on this desk, and Jerry knows how efficient we are for the businesses and try to give the good service, you know. And I don't mind coming in because to do that, I have to almost come in every night because there's always something that comes in here to sign it, you know. And because with Jerry's job and that too, and you know, he's here more than enough to try to accomplish the things he does, and I don't know how he does it sometimes. And because we got Anthony now, he's close by here too. So, but my point is, we do this to try to give you know, good service to the community.
Well, I'm sure the new person will be well-trained and right on task and follow our philosophies, Alvin.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Thank you.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is building inspector. As you're aware, our building inspector has put in his notice. He is going to a neighboring town. So I have posted for that position as well. The posting would be good until July 9th. We received 8 applications in, 4 that are qualified, 4 that are not. The reason 4 are not qualified is because in order to be qualified, not only do you have to have your general contractor's license, you also have to have your state certification license. Truthfully, and unfortunately, the state has made this license more difficult to get. Now, for people who are receiving the inspection, that's great. The problem is it continues to shrink the pool of people who are available out there. Because think about it, if you're a general contractor And you have no idea if you could ever be offered an opportunity to be a building inspector. You're not going to spend thousands of dollars, a whole bunch of hours, go into Boston, get a license you might never use. So you don't actually want to get the certification till you get hired, and you can't get hired if you don't have it. So we have a shrinking amount of people that can apply for this job. But at this point, we have 4. I have not run through them yet to look at them because I'm working on this other application process first. After July 9th, I will begin the review process. But one item that I would like to ask is that where this is a department head, do you want me to look at them, interview them? Do you want to have a subcommittee with one selectman and myself? Do you want to have some other form of subcommittee? Wondering how you would like me to either limit the pool, or if we only have 4 applicants, have all 4 interview with you. Your choice. It's a policy decision. It's your decision.
Harry?
I'd like you to interview them one-on-one yourself first, and to make sure out of that pool of 4 that all 4 are a good match for us. And then if all 4 of them are, send all 4 of them on to us for interview, or however many out of the top 4, the 4 that qualify, however you feel. Maybe if you even want to do the initial interview with one selectman, I don't know. It's a lot of options, but I would like the final decision to be made with an interview in front of the board.
Anthony?
That works for me.
Yeah, I think we can go along with that, and, I know that, some of them, see, that's changed too, but we used to be able to hire, and then they could go into to get that, we had some time, but now I guess the state has made it mandatory that now you've got to have that certificate, or you couldn't even qualify, you can't even.
That's what I am being told. However,
Yeah.
I have asked legal counsel that question because
Yeah,
I want to
right.
verify that to be accurate.
Yeah, because I know that the town has come up to me and he asked me about that, and then when I called you and I got back to him, he hasn't got back to me, that you had to have a certification. But it'd be nice if that's a fact, or if it's just another rumor that floats around. But you're gonna get that answer then.
Yep, we're in the process of securing that answer.
Okay, thank you.
God bless you. So, to be clear, I will interview, assuming there's only 4 candidates, I will interview all 4. If all 4 meet the minimum requirements, I'll bring all 4 back to the board. If there's some reason that I think that one or others may not qualify, I'll weed them out, and as the appointing authority, I'll bring the rest of those people to you, have an interview, and then you'll do the formal hire.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you like that as a motion?
Sure.
Okay, so moved.
Is
Second.
there a second? Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So voted.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, before we move on, we're talking about reorganization, retirements and whatnot. Within the next 6-7 months, our highway superintendent has announced his retirement. And I'd like to have that on the agenda for discussion at our next meeting. My personal feeling is we need to reorganize our highway, parks and forestry and mechanics department, and I'd like to see some type of a plan put together, or at least for discussion at the next meeting.
Anthony?
Yeah, I think that we should have a couple different options if you want to do different proposals with different amounts of foremen.
We're gonna start looking at that.
That sort of
because
thing.
What is that, to the end of the year?
Yeah, so Superintendent Graff is retiring at the end of the year, or at least his contract expires at the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
I have not been told that he's planning on retiring earlier, but that's still up for discussion. I have no problem putting together a preliminary overview of some thoughts. I just want to make sure that you're aware I am gone for the July 4th holiday, so I'm probably not going to be able to do an in-depth presentation on it, but I can do a preliminary one and then take advice and counsel from the board and maybe do a more thorough one at the August meeting, if that works.
I don't expect exact numbers. I know the holidays are coming up and whatnot in summertime, but I think there's some money to be saved, and a more efficient department could be run under one director out there, combining not only the workforce but the equipment. My personal opinion is it's the way to go. So even if it's a very rough idea, well, perhaps you suggest we leave it the way it is, but something so we can move forward.
I will.
Okay, so, all right, we've got a lot to do, as you say.
Need that as a motion?
Yeah, make a motion to that.
Motion, we put that on the agenda at the next meeting?
Is there a second? Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll put it on.
Sorry to interrupt, David.
No, no worries. Next is Mass DOT has in the process of completing one project and will begin the next. They are start to mark out the Hockomock Bridge up on the Route 106 interchange near the eastern border. And as you recall, they contacted us a little over a year and a half ago. I sent them about 6 pages of comments. My real concern with the bridge is the fact that it's pretty wide right now, which allows public safety vehicles to be able to park on the shoulder if need be. The new plan actually calls for the bridge to be narrower. Again, you would always think that would be the opposite, but it's going to meet their new mass roads and their mass roads regulation, and the bridge is actually wider than the regulation is. In any event, they're replacing it. So unfortunately, there will be some pain up there. The construction is supposed to start next week if it starts on schedule. I highly doubt that going into the July 4th week, but we'll see. With that said, it is going to take about a 6 to 9 month process. There will be times that it will go down to 1 lane, and if everything stays on schedule, there will be about 1 week that it will be entirely closed, requiring a detour down Manley Street. So again, we're still a far away from that, but I want to make sure that the public was informed and that this board is informed that that construction is due to commence next week.
I think, Eldon, if you remember, when Matt Albanese was on, we got their initial letter of intent to rebuild that bridge. That had to have been 12 years ago. Just so the public knows, with any of these state projects, just like we did with the center of town, we send our wish list and what we'd like to see. They pretty much still do what they want, the way they want. David and I had a battle with them on the center of town on numerous aesthetic issues, and some of them we were successful on, others we weren't. The stone walls look nice in the downtown now. We still have those ugly guardrails that I absolutely can't stand. But we had another project in town where we asked them not to put up a fence around the property because the fence wouldn't be maintained. They insisted on it. They put it up, and of course the fence isn't maintained. So we do our best to work with them, and we put in what we think's a good fit for our community, and we don't always get it, but we try.
Well, I'm on that committee, and it's kind of a shock when I saw it on the agenda there, because nothing mentioned Tuesday to me about this, so commencing there. Everything else was talked about, and I certainly would have been interested to get a few questions in there. And then I saw that on our agenda here, so.
Well, to give you an example, Mass DOT contacted me last week to reach out to me to secure my contact information. My first question to them was, okay, when will the pre-construction hearing occur? And they said it happened 2 weeks ago. And then they said, by the way, does that mean you weren't contacted? I said, well, think about what you're asking. You're asking for my contact information after the pre-hearing. So apparently I wasn't contacted. But I will say a year and a half ago when I did send that letter, I received a very nice, cordial letter back saying thank you for your time, we'll do it our way. But we will do our best on behalf of the West Bridgewater residents during the construction phase.
You know, they're involved in so many things in so many communities, and we represent 18 communities. I mean, they do a little bit here and a little bit there. And how about our center of town? Is that, when is that supposed to be complete down there? I noticed they did the walls, and Jerry, they did stone in the walls there. We asked them to do that, replace that cement wall because we wanted to kind of dress up. It is our center of town. But is there any?
They're winding down with just their landscaping at this point.
Yeah, I know they're working on that. Okay.
And the last one is that this falls under the purview of the Board of Selectmen. At night, when the registrar is required by law to be there in case somebody wants to be able to sign up to register to vote, in the past, they have actually always locked the rear door. They are not allowed to do that because that is our legal door for ADA requirements. The issue is that we have one person sometimes in the building for 4 hours at a time that is all alone, and it would be unaware if somebody actually came in the rear door. Currently, by locking it, it funneled all the people to the front door, and obviously where the town clerk's office is situated, you could see it and hear it. So from a safety issue, they are concerned that somebody may access the building without their knowledge and walk throughout the facility again without their knowledge. So what the town clerk has asked is to whether or not we install a rear door chime into that door that can be turned on and off So at specific times, they can turn it on. As somebody opens that door, it will chime throughout the town hall so the town clerk can hear it in their office and they know that somebody has entered the building. She would pay for it out of her budget. We went out, we solicited a handful of quotes. $450, which is the quote before you, was the least expensive one. However, even though this is a registrar's town clerk office issue, this is really a building issue because some other boards may want to use it as well. So it falls under the purview of the Board of Selectmen to approve whether or not you want to add a chime to the rear door.
Motion to approve the chime.
Is there a second?
I'll second. I do have some questions.
Go ahead.
Where would the bell only be ringing in her office?
No.
Because if it's nonstop ringing during meetings, it's going to be pretty pretty much a major interruption.
Yeah, so
Especially on a night like tonight when there's 3 or 4 meetings going on at one time, or different departments still open or whatnot. It's going to be pretty much an interruption.
excuse me. So that's why we insisted on an on-off switch. So for tonight, for example, there's many of us, so we probably wouldn't put it on. The way it's envisioned, it was only be put on if, say, one person was in the office. As you know, I have to be here alone often because it's just enough work to do at night. But I lock the door. I don't need to have someone have access. But the registrar is required by law to have access and ADA accessibility.
Right.
So it's really envisioned at that time when there would only be that one person. And we have not marked the exact spot for it, but we anticipate that the chime will go into the front lobby area, so that way the town clerk's office can hear it down the hallway.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I was concerned that it was a bell you had to ring and someone had to come let you out because I don't think that's the best case scenario for people with disabilities. So this is a good alternative. Thank you.
You're welcome.
David, I think I talked to you before about that door. That door is a problem anyhow. I do come over sometimes in the morning, and a lot of times I find that door unlocked. Most of the boards, like, they meet up front and down, all over this town hall, okay? And, it's out of their way to go and lock that door, if they go out the front door. But we're gonna talk further about that too, because it's more than one. Lately, in the last month, a couple times it's happened.
Well, I think maybe a reminder email to all the chairmen of all the different boards, Eldon, but I think more important, it's necessary that door remain unlocked whenever there's a meeting going on
That's
throughout
gotta
the
be
meeting
unlocked.
for ADA compliance, because that's why that door's there, that's why the elevator's
elevator.
there. So we need to make sure that door is open and people with disability have access. So I think maybe a nice reminder email, one, lock the door when you leave, but it's got to be unlocked and accessible to the public at all times during any public meeting.
Does the police department ever do security checks?
Yeah, they do security checks at times. I don't think they do it every night, but
Yeah, that could be something we ask the midnight shift to do, or,
Yeah.
just check both doors. And they have a key, so.
okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's my report.
Okay, thank you. I think at this time I'm going to put on to the Boy Scouts here, but Jackie,
Oh, excuse me 1 second. Was there a vote? Did you capture a
think we
vote on
voted.
that?
all in
Was there a
favor?
vote on the chime?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, there was.
They took a vote?
Oh, no, there was a
No.
motion in a second.
The motion is second. We need to take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So voted.
Thank you.
Now, Jackie's been with us, what, 23 years, Jackie? Forever. And they're certainly going to miss her, and she's a people's person. And I remember when I got on the board at first there, we didn't have anything like a secretary, though. We did it all. And we're very, very fortunate now to have people like Jackie. And it was kind of emotional there for me when I signed her papers to go, because I just hate to lose good people, It's and thank you for all the years you served.
Thanks, you had to do
served
this,
well.
Lee, right?
Yeah, and I don't want no tears now
Come
tonight.
on.
Yeah, okay,
Please.
okay. Thanks again on behalf of all of us, okay? Okay, let's turn on to the Ellen Roberts and your Boy Scouts. Who's going to be speaking for your group? Any comments?
Well,
Can we run the meeting better, or
he's
get?
not here tonight, but we're here
Yeah.
so that we can observe government in
Yeah.
our town. Some of us are here for rank advancement,
Yeah,
because we use ranks to advance through Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
And some of us are here for our citizenship and community badge.
yeah,
Some of us are here for our communication badge.
Oh, so,
So we have open ears, we're listening to opposing views, especially, in different things. And we thank you for welcoming us.
oh, anytime you wanna come in, I mean, we are open to the public all the time, and, sometimes we get a few here, and sometimes we get nobody here out there. We, public participation, and I look out there, and there's nobody out there, but, and most of the times, they get to the town meetings maybe once a year there, and I remember we used to go off in April, now we go off in June, and I don't know if we could ever get back to April there, because it seems to be that time, all the Little League and the whole works, and people are busy, when the weather gets busy, I don't really know. But any suggestions that anybody has?
I'll point out we're usually much more formal. Usually we're dressed a little bit nicer, a little bit more business attire, but for the months of June, July, and August, we go a little bit casual, a little more relaxed, though Anthony doesn't normally comply. The new guy's still usually in a suit and tie. He loosened it up today and lost the tie. It's probably in the car. But we're usually a little bit more formal, but for the summer, we try to relax and we don't deal with too much major business. We just completed the budget season, so we set the budget for the entire year for the town. We kind of steer the budgets and meet with all our department heads. And in the town, a few weeks ago, you all presented the flags. That's when the actual budget's set and actual decided on by the voters of the town.
Okay. Thank you for coming. Yeah, go ahead.
The Board of Selectmen, do you meet on a monthly basis?
We meet twice a month.
Twice a month.
At least twice a month, yeah.
Yeah.
No other questions?
No questions?
If I'm still in office when you're all 18, I highly recommend you not run for selectman, because I enjoy my time here and don't need any competition.
I don't know, Anthony has only been here a short time. He has not given his opinion to me, but I can imagine what he's thinking. I'm gonna be hearing him one of these days. Go ahead.
Tell us a little bit of how long you've been in office.
Can I ask you your name?
Forever.
Lynn, Ames.
What's it say, 81?
What year does it say on there?
What year does it say on that?
81.
Anthony, were you born yet?
Nope.
Okay, so he's been on the board longer than he's been alive. It's pretty impressive, huh? And in case you don't know, there's a small road in town called Eldon Marrero Way, which we named after Eldon. He's the longest-serving selectman ever to serve in town. And to honor him, we want to make sure he knows how much we all appreciate him. We named a little road to him, and it actually goes back to the Highway and Forestry Department, which Eldon's held near and dear to his heart. And when he started here, it was they worked out of a little cinder block building with 2 or 3 bays and a wooden floor that was collapsing. And now they have a beautiful facility that we can help maintain the town
there's been
better.
such an advancement of the thing when that highway started that, and I saw the mess was over there with 2-car garage. And little by little, and they said, well, that's one of my first projects that I want to try to move. And then the mechanics had that come in, and I had to fight for that and everything. And of course, the biggest thing of all was the new high school. I mean, that was just the grand finale for the kids and for the whole community. You had the people, I don't want it, I don't need it. And it's kind of hard for me because I'm self-employed, and we got contracts and people, there's raises, there's things like that. It's kind of tough sometimes to serve in this capacity, but we get through it, and it's been a lot of. But getting back to that, tonight now, I was up to CVS, was getting some prescriptions. So this guy said, Jesus, I thought you were dead. I says, what? So the lady in front of me says, wait a minute. She says, my husband gets his hair cut off. I go, and he says, he's very much alive. So she spoke up. And I said, that's kind of rarely because they don't usually honor people when they're alive. They usually dedicate something to that. But I get to honor. I thought that was very, very nice, of that. But anyhow, you never know, and you just do the best you can. A lot of people got comments, and if you go into a restaurant, you don't get any peace. Like in the morning, if you should go up across from the high school, very opinionated. Some people don't even go in there.
Suggest you not.
No, so they're in there, and they're telling me we don't need a building inspector because our building inspector, we don't go to a part-time. Everybody likes to save money. So, well, he usually comes in there because his children go over to the high school, see, so I get to talk to him. I say, would you answer that question for us there? And do we really need a full-time? So he answered that, and so we certainly do. He says, now, he says, Baines Electric, he says, we got a lot of things coming in here. And, you know, we gotta keep, and so we certainly do. So after that, even some people that were kind of like a little bit doubt, you know, since they didn't get what they wanted, the East Street gang over there, so everybody starts talking, like, you know. And one guy says, gee, the door ain't big enough for you to go out there, you have a big head. The building inspector says, I'm going to miss one guy. He says, I'm going to miss you, Eldon. He said, because you're the best boss I ever had, and you use common sense with everybody, and you try to use everybody fair. Yeah, we all try to do that. We all work together. We have difference of opinions, but when it comes strong, and we have to really get together, pretty well. Of course, Anthony just come on, but we were pretty strong. If we really have to move something, I mean, we can have, and that's what makes it enjoyable, you know. But at least now, I have today's meeting. Anthony said I got a little place down the beach. Haven't been down there. The deck's off and I can't use it. Now I got to go through full conservation to replace the deck. So you know, somebody said to me, "Oh, how does it feel now to have to obey the law? You guys put these laws in sometimes, and now you're a victim." The same laws, you know what I mean? And you know, a lot of things are not fair. I walked in the Registry of Deeds this week. I haven't been up there. Ever been up there, Registry of Deeds up in Brockton? On West Elm Street? And there's a stairs. There must be 25 or 30 stairs. You get all the way to the top, and there's a sign. The entrance is on the side. There's no sign at the bottom of those stairs. How many poor people, elderly, walk up to the stairs? I know him very well, and I'll be talking to him. And I already asked Mary Graff to do it. She says, no, I can't do that. But she put a little sign down there, and then Anthony's on the advisory board there, and I'm the assistant. I was on there for years. Nancy was on there, but now Anthony's on there. I think, Anthony, someday if you get some time, we want to go up for a tour up there. The girls in the office, they're talking to me, and there's a lot of things. They're not keeping up with the buildings. And there's so many things that have to be done up there.
Last time I was in there was a courthouse.
And you're in the courthouse, yeah. So see, there's a lot of things, and
Oh, I think we have another question, Eldon.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
We also, some of us, the boys who are here for their first-class rank,
Yeah.
we want to ask you folks about what our constitutional rights and obligations are as U.S. citizens.
What do you mean your rights? You get the rights of everybody else has to ask the questions, and I mean, even if they're not, you know, they're young enough to not be voters, but they certainly, the input, you know, coming in through their parents or something like that, so we know, you know, how they feel about things, or they can express their things to us, you know. And we don't mind them coming in because, you know, and what do you think about, I'll put a question out to you. What do you think about the youth of this community? Do you think this community there does a lot of things for the youth? We could probably do more. Have you any suggestions of things that we could do that we're not doing? You don't have to give the answer tonight, but you know,
Are you asking me or the boys?
yeah, we're asking the boys.
Yeah.
Ask the boys. You see anything here that you'd like to see the town do?
Should
that's
we
not being done?
shorten the school year, shorter days? We can't do any of that.
Huh?
More volunteer efforts for the boys or for the kids in general?
Yeah, volunteer.
Anything that, you know, posted someplace where,
In other words, bringing them in for more volunteer. Because there's always the, you know, projects that have to be done. You know, we're always looking for help. And to the parents there, we certainly have the many committees we have out there. The biggest problem we have is sometimes we get the committees and you know, we're so busy, like you see what we're doing here. And then the committee's out there, but they need somebody to push the committees to get done. Like we got a committee to bring business in town. Well, I think the board is more active bringing business in town than the committees, but the committees need direction from us or what we expect or what we want them to do. And that's what I think we're going to have to do in the future here because this town certainly And as you know, now, we never had a meals tax here. Now we have a meals tax. But you know what we do? We dedicate that to the school to keep that taxes down. And it's not bad. I mean, it's not bad business. I mean, at one time we had no money in the stabilization fund. But now we have, what, million,
Oh, 1.4 million.
1.4 million. So we're very, very brutal as far as, you know, money goes and things like that, because we realize, because the more you got to control, and, you know, that's, go ahead.
What is the stabilization fund? Where does that money go?
It's like a rainy day account there, that we could apply that anywhere that sometimes we take it just, if we're gonna have a year that the taxes are gone out of sight, we can apply that to the taxes to bring the taxes down. See, the only thing is we get blamed for a lot of things that we don't, like the assessors. Well, what we don't see is the assessment they put, that's the multiplier. So necessarily we can say, hey, taxes are not gonna go up, but you could get a bigger tax bill. Maybe you've done something, put an addition on or something, for some reason or other. But, you know, they come to us, but we have to send them to them, being the assessors, you know.
I was joking with you guys about cutting down the school day, but though we're the Board of Selectmen and we run the town, there are some departments that we don't have jurisdiction over. The Board of Health is their own elected board. So there's a board of 3 downstairs that make all the decisions for the Board of Health. Board of Health is probably one of the most powerful boards in any community. They can implement any law and any rule and any regulation in the town pertaining to health they want. If we want a law that the people of the town have to abide by, we have to draft it up, we have to bring it to town meeting, we have to convince the people to vote for it. Then it has to go to the Attorney General. The Attorney General makes a determination if that law is viable or not, and then it comes back and it becomes law. Board of Health can implement just about any health-related ordinance they want. The school department is a board of 5 or 6. 5. Used to be 6 when I was on it. And they govern the school. We don't have authority over the school. We do approve their budgets. We present their budget at town meeting. But the governing of the school is all done by the school department. The other elected board here is the Board of Assessors. They're the ones that determine how much taxes and the value of everybody's house and property that set their tax revenue. We also have an elected board that run the water department. So those departments that have an elected board operate free from us. We don't have jurisdiction or authority over them. And those boards have to run for office every 3 years also, just like we do. We make a lot of decisions at the meetings, but our town administrator, this is David Gagny, David does the day-to-day operations. So whatever we decided here today, David and the staff will take that back to the office and say, oh, Jerry wanted this done, Anthony wanted that done, Eldon wanted this done, this is what the board voted. So then they'll go implement everything. So we kind of have the easier job, though the decisions aren't always easy and fun. When you have to fire somebody or discipline somebody, that comes to us. So that's not part of the fun job. But a lot of the good things, like Taser Park, so we're going to have a beautiful dog park. It's going to be built behind St. Anne's. Those are the type fun things we decide are going to happen, and then the office staff makes it happen. So even though it's not an easy job, sometimes it's a great fun job. Sometimes it's really tough. But a lot of the day-to-day operations really go out to the department heads. The police chief works for us, the fire chief, the parks department, the forestry department, the mechanic. They all work under us. So we give David direction. David goes out and implements what we want.
Because the water department works on the enterprise thing there. They're really separate entity. I mean, if we get in trouble here, at least at one time, if we needed some money, like I told you about the stabilization fund, we can go to the water department. They can go to us, but we can't go to them. It's kind of a funny operation. And of course, people will come to me, you know, because the water bills and everything is going up. It seems to be everywhere, see. But the thing is, years ago, it used to be 5,000 cubic feet, and then you get an excess water bill. I don't know what it is now, but I think it's down around 15. So when I talk to them, I mean, they can't fluff me off, because I'll tell them right off. I'll say, hey, listen, what are you down to, 1,500 now? So technically, the rate has gone up. Now they're going to quarterly billing. But they hear from us because they're on their own entry over there. But, you know, we do have input with them and tell them because, you know, I get this flack from people out. Geez, I just water my lawn. They got an excess water bill. I said, I go to the beach all summer, I says, and I get an excess water bill. Come on, you know what I mean? But that's the way it is. See, the way it's supplied. And of course, they've been painting the tanks. We got and we've really come a long way. We have the Rotary Farm over there. That's the backup. we haven't even used there. We got so many things that I want to get to, like even in some of the things that we get tied into here, like housing for the elderly. We got that Esther Drive up there. Talk to the housing board, we bring it up, they says, we don't need any more housing. They have a place off of Belmont Street. All those things we have out there, but that's our future. And, you know, we should be talking about those things at least. Or what do you want to do? Not necessarily doing them, but have some kind of a plan. You know, that's what Nancy was all about, strategic planning and knowing what you're going to do, you know, down the line. You see some of the contracts that we had today, the one on the dogs there, that's 2019, you know.
Do you guys
So-
have any
so
questions for the board?
We decide
or-
here today, we impact people for 3 or 4 years down the road here, you know? So,
Do you guys have any questions for the board, or anything you want to know about town, or anything you guys would like to see the town do that's different, or? Yeah,
Will it be finished in 2019 or start?
dog park? I don't think we have a finish date for that, or
No,
shouldn't
we
take
don't.
that long.
No, we do not have a finish date yet because we still have to hire the actual construction company.
Dog park won't take that long.
So it starts in 2019?
No, once the engineered plans are approved and they finish the design, we'll start construction. All depends on how bad the winter is. You have a dog?
yeah.
No, well, we'll get you one. Your parents will love that.
You got your hand up down there?
Vandals have hit the Pleasant Street Cemetery several times. Is there anything that can be done to monitor that better? I know Lauren Finch, and she was actually trying to.
Yeah, I know her, yeah.
Pretty considerable funds to buy security cameras. And then the amount of damage has been really extensive.
Right.
And I think at one time, her goal was also to try and get maybe CPA funds, but that's a pretty extensive process.
It passed.
Pass.
Oh, it did?
Yep, she got it at town meeting this year. Unfortunately, town funds can't go for security of the property. It can go for historic restoration, which with that being said, now their funds can go towards security. And they have worked really close with Lieutenant Flaherty and the detectives up there, and they're doing some monitoring, and next time they do it, they're gonna get caught. So, and we hope there is no next time.
Money she got for that?
35,000.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was a lot.
Yeah. I think they only raised about 5,000 with a GoFundMe, but the 35,000 from the town, from the historic preservation aspect will help, so then their money can go towards the installation of the rest of the cameras and whatnot.
Great. That's absolutely great.
Anything else? Anthony?
Oh, you got one question out here.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Is there anything being said about the lack of sidewalks around like South Street, River Street?
Yeah, that's that committee I'm on up in Brockton there. We're trying to, and over at the church, the lady that's the pastor over there at the white church there is trying to push it. Yeah, that's on the docket here. What I was told with that committee that I'm on there, if we pledge like some money towards that, and we get something going, and then it's almost like a traffic light there where the business now, the one up in Manley Street, I mean, it's hard to get things rolling. Now we got money for engineering down there on East Street, and we're trying to get a light down there. I can't believe what it costs. Traffic light now costs $400,000 and over the weekend the Portuguese Fiesta was in Bridgewater. I was there, and Mr. Dumont, the chief, came before the Old Colony Planning Council. And that light at High Street and Route 18, now that light is it's on blinking, but that's what they do. The state, they come in and then it's a process. It takes so long to do things. You know how aggravating we at the center of town here. We try to get things moving. I think now it seems to be reasonable. We don't have the backups now. The only thing is, the trick to that is you got to get in the right lane in the first place. If you're going to Bridgewater, make sure. If you get in that inner lane, you could get cut off, but it's almost the same layout as up in Brockton on Pleasant Street. If you don't get in the right lane to get there, you could be in trouble.
But we do have a local committee, sidewalks,
Yeah,
rails,
yeah,
trails, and pedestrian crossings, and we are working on that. The conservation agent, John Delano, who's also an engineer, is actually working on something really fun for us that will coincide with the sidewalks, which we hope eventually to get some money for, and we're working on that. We did get some funding through the governor's program. But what I think is kind of exciting, it's not only a sidewalk, but it's also aesthetically pleasing. It's a big asset of the town, is what we hope is going to be called the River Walk. It'll basically be a boardwalk sidewalk from the South Street Bridge down to the town park. And we were originally going to ask for some money for it for engineering. And our Conservation Commission agent, who's such a brilliant engineer, loves the idea so much, him and his son are going to help engineer it. And they're actually drawing up plans now. We do have a sidewalk committee that you guys are welcome to attend. If any of you are on Facebook, we do post it on there. We've been a little dragging behind and re-meeting. But what we've done is we had an initial meeting. There was about 20 people there, and everybody was asked to email their preferences or their recommendations of where we really need sidewalks. For the most part, I think the biggest feedback was the center of town to East Street, River Street, South Street, South Elm to River Street, and then what we're also going to do is eventually, Anthony was on the committee with me also, we're going to evaluate the sidewalks that already exist. For instance, Harvestwood has sidewalks on both sides of the street, which actually is the town bylaw, which sounds like a great idea. When someone comes in and develops a street, we make them put a sidewalk on both sides of the street, which is a great idea. It sounds great, but then when it comes time to maintain it, the town has to maintain then 2 sidewalks rather than 1. And before I had kids, people used to complain about the South Street sidewalk, Harvestwood sidewalks. I'm like, how can they complain? They got sidewalks. So many streets don't. Well, trying to go down there if you're handicapped or with a stroller or in a wheelchair or whatever is near impossible because the sidewalk's in really bad condition. So we hope we have some meetings planned and set up. The conservation agent's going to come in. The highway superintendent's going to come in. State representative's going to come in. They've been working with us to get some money. We're really pushing forward with the school. There's the Safe Routes to School grants, which we have to take some additional steps first. And if all that doesn't work, then we just vote at town meeting to spend $1 million a year and build some sidewalks.
See, over there on Harvard, that's a major to do that street. You notice they planted those trees, and they planted them really in the wrong spot. And what happened over there, they're lifting the curbs up. Now it's a requirement. When you put a curb, you just don't put it in the sand. You back it up with cement, So it'll stay there. And we got a major job over there at Harvest Drive when we do that over. But that's what he said. A lot of the sidewalks that we have there, we try to keep them in repair. There's people that walk along that Spring Street that call one day. Somebody took a real landing over there and got the highway immediately over there to try to, keep them together.
That little stretch of
We're
Howard
working
Street
on it.
too, because if you can't get up
We're working
Howard
on
Street,
it.
you can't get to the rest of the town over there. But I think one of the things with the town park is we invite everybody. We want everybody to go to enjoy it and love it, and you can't get there safely because that's a horrible road with a lot of bends. So those are priorities of the committee. So we are working on it.
Well, anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn, sir.
No?
Oh, no.
I'm good.
Make a motion.
We got to go into the executive session, which I'll be reading for, and so we're going to be here for a while. So, I got it in front of me here. Okay, well, thanks for coming
Thank
in
you,
now,
everyone.
okay? Don't be a stranger.
Excuse me, sir.
Bye-bye. That
Yeah,
Eagle
take care
Scout
now.
ceremony was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
The great kid, done a lot of good.
That's inspiring too.
Yeah.
Good night.
Now, take care. Oh, executive session motion, June 22nd, 2016. I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session, not to return to open session for the purpose of conducting strategy sessions for negotiation with non-union personnel, specifically the elderly service director, and for the purpose of conducting negotiation with non-union personnel, specifically the police chief. Roll call vote, please.
Lawrence, yes?
Kinahan, yes.
Marrera, yes. We are now in executive session. Thank you.